Look in my eyes for my mind state. I'm on the grind 25 days. Money on my mind, that's how I play. If you got it now, that's what I say. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait.
And we are back. Season 3, episode 17, 2020, January, what is it? 13 of the Swerve City Podcast. What's up, y'all? I told you we're gonna come back harder, better than ever. We got a lot going on, man. Studio's still the same, but there's gonna be more editions coming soon. Just trust me, trust in Swerve, trust in the Swerve City team, bro. Man, over this break, we accomplished some things, let me tell you. First off, let me say, this past weekend was some wrestling drama. I'll say that on social media, but we ain't going to talk about it. I'm just going to address it. Yeah. I ain't going to talk about it.
It'd be wrong to not.
You think so? You think
well, not wrong, but awkward not to address it.
I mean, it happened.
Like through the room, just like.
It happened. Things were said.
Yeah.
Exposure. People were exposed on several occasions. Not just one person. Everybody a lot of people.
This past couple hours, actually. See, this is why you gotta.
I'm gonna play the fifth on it, but yeah.
And just so it's out there, people that are watching, I only have glasses on right now because I have a migraine. So I'm sure it'll pass soon, but just deal with the glasses.
Boy got the vitamin water, got the coffee. He's
Yes.
working through this, man. Yeah. So he's doing this for y'all. He's doing it for the Swerve City team.
People.
For the people. Leo in the building.
Thank you.
But, man, let's talk about what just occurred over the weekend. Last week we went to work, bruh.
Yes.
As y'all all know, if y'all have been following us on social media, the Swerve City Podcast, official on Instagram and on Twitter, Swerve City Pod. Man, we have a feature song with Juice, Zombie Juice from Flatbush Zombies. We just recorded the video on several locations. You will see everybody who's been featured in the video when it drops. We don't have a release date yet, but it is coming. It is being worked on by the fabulous Syiren and behind the mic.
Throw your hood up.
Mike Simmons over here. These talented individuals.
Throw your hood up, brother.
Yes. It is being worked on.
All right.
It is being worked on and edited and mixed and mastered, and it's going to be put together. It's going to be dropping in the next month, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. We never done anything like this. Each time we elevate, we raise the bar more and more. Every music video we done, from Swerve City to Broke Boys to I'm the Man, and now to Body Art featuring Juice of Flatbush Zombies, man. So look out for that. Teasy, what's been going on in the hood?
Man, I've been all right, man. Everything's been...
Popping his collar.
Everything has been great, man. I have no complaints, man. 2020 has been a eventful...
We're off to a good start.
An eventful year, man. I have no complaints, man. It's been good getting a lot of these bucket list accomplishments done, per usual. And, we are an awesome team. We all put our minds together and come up with some awesome content, man, So I've been just in album mode, man. When I get in album mode, I kind of duck off from social media a little bit. I just been focused on us working on this album, getting this album done, getting the Peculiars done and everything that we're doing. So I'm in 100% album mode right now, just ready to finish this project up and get ready for the April release, my brother.
Yes, sir. And when is this release of this album again?
Man.
What's the name of this album?
From Humble Beginnings, man. Make sure you guys check that out, man. From Humble Beginnings is the project that we are concluding right now. We've been in the studio working very, very hard to give you guys some quality material. My bro said, man, I want to switch it up, man. I want to do something crazy on this project. So when we started this, we had a wonderful sis over here start with Broke Boys, which is one of the most amazing hooks that I've heard. My bro Swerve said, bro, she got one, man. She got one. Let's get in the lab and do this. So we started doing that, and then we coming out with this project, man, From Humble Beginnings. Make sure you guys check that out, man. I'm so excited for this album. Bro, I feel like I have a new life in me as an artist, bro. I was struggling for inspiration, dog. So thank you. Thank you so much, man.
One time. Everybody say hi to Jerry Lynn.
What up, Jerry Lynn? Oh, man, the legend. EC Dub legend. Jerry Lynn watching. He's checking out Swerve City Podcast.
Jerry Lynn, what's going on?
So why aren't y'all? Y'all should be checking it out too. Sis, what's been going on in the neck of the woods over there, over yonder?
You know me, I had to break up some fights this past week, man. It's at my old job. You know, I had people bringing up nightmares and stuff and trying to be all big and bad, like Big Bad Wolf, and I had to come in there with the foam posits. So,
The fresh purple.
I was coming in with the fresh.
The
You
fresh
know,
purples.
today, actually, I'm rocking the baddest Toy Story-esque vans out here. We got Buzz Lightyear. He's in the front. Woody in the back somewhere.
Woody in the back.
Woody in the back.
Sir.
He in the back. He getting hit with the claw. But you know, I'm just living. I had a blast filming that body art, man.
Body art,
Yo,
man, is gonna be
listen,
special.
When I tell you, man, we had fun. We went out there and we just
And y'all gonna have fun watching it. I
I'm
can't,
excited for it.
yeah,
I'm excited for it.
It was bomb, man.
bro. You like you in the Breakfast Club in the
I am in
morning.
the Breakfast
Like this
Club.
interview is at.
You just
work.
wait for Charlamagne to ask you something crazy. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. You know, after you I ain't gonna say it.
You look like this interview's going on at 5 a.m, bro. But without further ado, we got to bring it over to the guest of the evening. The first guest of season 3 of the Swerve City Podcast 2020. The first guest of 2020, man. We got Lio Rush, former Cruiserweight champion WWE. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? I've been waiting a long time to be on this podcast, so I'm pretty excited for this.
Thank
Pretty
you
excited.
very much, man. For you was one of the first multiple guests when we started doing Swerve Talk.
Yeah.
That's available on the high spots right now, actually. So you made many cameo appearances. Just jumped in when Moose was slobbering over in the corner in the chair. But it's good to have you back in here on the official studio. See how we upgraded. See how we moved up, man.
Oh, yeah, this is dope. This is the real deal. Holyfield.
Yes. So we're going to talk about your music project since we talked about ours now.
All right.
You just released 11/11 on 11/11, November 11th.
Talk about it.
Yeah,
Man, what a-
numbers all day.
7 tracks.
Yes, sir.
I feel like each track of yours definitely dealt with something that you've experienced in life over the past either year or many years.
Yeah.
Or a traumatic past that you brought to light, man. Talk about the album, man. Talk about the records.
Yeah. So this was my first project that I've done. This was something that I feel like I wasn't going to do. I put out 2 singles prior to this, and it kind of picked up a lot more steam than I originally intended, and people wanted more music. So over that kind of course of break where I wasn't a part of the company, kind of taking a hiatus, being with my family and stuff like that, I started writing music, and over that time I wrote down enough music to probably make about 3 or 4 projects, to be honest.
Talk about it.
And yeah, so I figured that I should put this out. I figured that it was a sensitive time for me, and everybody wanted to know kind of what was going on, and a lot of people's perception of me was
It wasn't very positive.
yeah, it wasn't,
I will say
it
that.
wasn't positive, and it definitely didn't help that I was a heel on television, and I was doing my job as being a heel and making people hate me even more. So that definitely didn't go in my favor, but I feel like that was just the perfect time to, for one, work on something that I've always wanted to work on, because I come from a music family and a music background, and
I didn't know that.
yeah, my parents were actually both nominated gospel singers.
Really?
For the
What's-
not the Emmys. Why am I thinking?
What's the
The Stellar Awards?
Stellar Awards?
Yes.
Yep. There
Boom.
we go.
That's why Mike here,
Boom.
man.
That's why
Room
he's
of
here.
knowledge.
But
Room
yeah,
full of
my
knowledge.
parents were nominated for Stellar Awards, gospel nominated duo. So I grew up my dad's studio was right underneath my bedroom, so I would hear sessions literally every day, every night, pumping through my vents and stuff like that. So it's kind of in my blood. I feel like it was kind of my calling and what I was meant to do. So I figured that I would use that time to focus on that. And like I said, kind of kind of give people a different side of me that they weren't used to seeing, because people were so used to just seeing that loudmouth, brash character on television that made people hate him and Bobby Lashley. So,
which in real life you're more introvert than like what your portrayal is on television.
it was weird for me, to be honest.
Yeah?
It
To
was-
flip the switch the other way?
The switch like that to be somebody completely different than what I am, like in real life. I feel like I'm a pretty like calm, cool, collective kind of guy. Like I'm pretty laid back, and to kind of be out there and screaming through a microphone every week was pretty nerve-wracking to me. It was definitely out of my comfort zone, for sure.
Man, I'll tell you one, like it was breaking my heart to like not be able to like reach out as much as I wanted to during that time, because like you had your thing going on. I didn't know where you were in the part of the world. I didn't like, and we, like a lot of people don't know this, we lived in the same neighborhood.
Same neighborhood.
Like,
Neighbors.
literally neighbors. I could see his front door from my window every day, and I could see him walking his dog, Hey, which is like my favorite dog ever.
Listening to all the drama at 4 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
outside.
Man, a little segue story. So it was like 3-4 in the morning, and there's like a car. Like once again, I can see exactly where everything is. This is like a couple. It was like one female and like 5 of her friends versus this one guy, and you already know that's ending bad. But like all the other girls are kicking the car.
Yeah.
Dirty Mac.
Yeah, it was like the hyenas on fighting Simba on Lion King. It was like, oh my God, like, oh Jesus, oh they all get mauling them.
Felt like I was in a dream. I texted Shane like, "Are you hearing this?"
I was like,
4 in the morning. Shane texted me back like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
This is crazy.
I'm like, because you was about to go out and say something.
Yeah,
But I'm like,
yeah.
we're versing 5 women. I don't think this is a good fight. I don't think we want to get in this.
And they're all drunk.
All of them drunk. It was like a Wednesday night too. It was like a Wednesday. So I'm like, what were you doing at 4 in the morning?
Stupid.
Oh man.
Oh, God.
So moving on. What do you discuss in the 1111 project for people that have not listened to it?
I feel like the project was more so based around mental health illness, which I was pretty open about. I've been pretty open about it for the kind of half of 2019. I figured that this was the perfect time because my situation was so sensitive, and I wanted to show people that, hey, even though I am going through this in my everyday life, I can still kind of prevail, and I can still overcome like all of these, demons that are coming in my life every day. So I feel like that was the perfect time to kind of be like an inspiration to a lot of people that looked up to me, and also an inspiration to people that weren't the biggest, weren't as fond as me of me as the people that have kind of been supporting me since day one.
Now, I feel like as a young individual, as a young entertainer that you are, there's a lot of pressures on you.
Yeah.
With
for sure.
with going through mental health problems, man. Like it's like being a father, a new father of 2 at the time. And then just getting married, having to be the man of the house, truly, like 100% man of the house now, and then like issues at work, man. Like what pulls you out of that? I know it's the music had to been therapeutic.
Yeah, for sure.
Like especially writing and getting like bringing that light out of you,
Yeah.
so people can see a different light of you. How hard was it to actually like pull yourself out of that? Because there's a lot of people that go through those things and they don't have those outlets to pull themselves out of those holes. And it's something so deep like that.
Yeah.
If you could talk to the audience right now,
Yeah.
especially like the people that are subscribed on, youtube.com, Swerve City Podcast, subscribe. If you could talk to this audience, what advice would you give them to, if they're facing any type of deep, dark holes like that, dealing with the mental health?
Yeah.
How can they pull themselves out of them? What are the first steps that you can take?
I feel like being honest with yourself is first and foremost. Like knowing that there's something wrong, knowing that there is help out there that needs to be, kind of like seeked. Like you need to be willing and open to kind of putting yourself in somebody else's hands. Like being vulnerable, I feel like is very important. And I was like, I've been dealing with this since I was a teenager, and I feel like I was so stubborn, and I feel like growing up with like all sisters and, you know, being the only guy in the house other than my dad, I feel like I needed to be the tough one. I needed to not show weakness. I needed to, you know, protect everybody else and look after everybody else before looking after myself. And it just got to a point where, you know, I realized that me being the tough guy isn't going to help me. It isn't doing me any favors. If anything, it's going to prolong this, and it's going to seriously potentially ruin my life, for one, or like, I know it sounds pretty serious or whatever, but I could, you know, not live a full life that I wanted to live. Like, I could, you know, there's so many things that comes with mental health and people that battle with like anxiety and depression and stuff like that. And I've dealt with you know, possible like suicide attempts. I've dealt with like dark thoughts and you know, being in like mental like institutes and stuff like that. And I just feel like having that mindset of being strong and tough for everybody else, like, it just didn't do me any favors. It made it worse.
It shields off the ability to heal.
Yeah, exactly. And I knew that I loved professional wrestling. I knew that I wanted to continue doing what I love doing, and I had to be honest with myself, and I had to be vulnerable and reach out for help, which is what I did, and I feel like it definitely helped me out in the long run. And if I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't be in the WWE today. So,
Man.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that you used to cope while you were going through this process?
I think surrounding yourself with people that you love, surrounding yourself with people that love you and care about you is really important. Having two younger boys that look up to me definitely helped me out a lot. It pushed me not to give up. Like, it made me want to be you know, a role model for them and set the right example, that even though you fail at something, or even though you hit like a speed bump in the road, that you can still recover from it and end up on top of the mountain. So
even still being a role model to the millions of kids watching you at home too. Like want to be like you, for that sure. Want to grow up and like be in the shoes that we're blessed as human beings, like all of us are in this room. The people that like I lost my stream. Anyway, for the people that can't do what we do, like even as simple as like tasks that there's a lot of people that wish they had the mental like abilities like the mic and size that can do what y'all do, that have that vision to record and find like the right angles and like use the equipment. Like, the people are like, you'd be surprised how many people I know back in my hometown that wish they had the opportunity, that don't even know how to get started with that kind of stuff, let alone be the entertainers, let alone be the music people that can do that they don't have the confidence in themselves. And that's why I like try to do on this podcast, man. Like, if you're someone who watches this show and like feel what we're talking about, the conversations, the topics that we bring up, you know, the debates, even like when we're having fun, man, I hope that just gives y'all confidence enough to want to even take the first step to even try to do what we do. You know, like, it may not be for you, but taking the first step to even try these things might get you to find something else that you're passionate about and love for. That's the hardest thing in anything that we do. They're taking that first step, even to just go to the gym. Yeah. Some people are afraid to be looked at a certain way because they don't know how to use the equipment. They're not familiar with working out and everything, and they feel like the insecurities, you know.
It's so easy to lose motivation, but that's why you have to be disciplined. In life, and you just have to know that there's a difference between the two.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, me personally, I could actually see it like a lot from our culture, speaking for African American culture. You know, we grow up with a lot of sometimes, because I totally feel where you're coming from, growing up around women, and almost feeling like you have to grow into this natural protection mode. A lot of times. And then Will Smith had a great quote today. He was talking. I just want to paraphrase what he said. He was talking about the same thing you were mentioning. That a lot of times we end up putting up this guard of someone who we might not be as people. And it might work for a period of time, Like we might be the tough guy, or we might be the the arrogant person, or however we are to protect ourselves. And then that shell breaks down, and then it doesn't work anymore. And then you have to face your truth all over again.
Yeah. Like what happens when you take a pin or a needle or a rock and you continue to hit a bulletproof glass over and over and over again in the same spot. Eventually, it's gonna crack. Like you can think that you're on top of the world. That you're
Excuse me, guys. I brought some guests in here.
Whoa!
For the evening.
What up?
Look, you never know who's gonna pop up in the Swerve City Podcast. Yeah, my Lucha Mama up in here. What's going on?
We got big.
What's going on, man?
We got Big John.
Good to see you, bro.
Everyone's got their own phones going.
I know, I'm like, a lot of phones.
Peanut butter and Johnny.
Peanut butter and Johnny.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
There's a cable right here.
Look, move.
I don't know how to plug the cable.
Yeah. Come in, everybody get introduced.
Hi. How are you? Good.
Hello.
How are you?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
My bad, y'all. I had to say
This is turned into a party. Hello.
This is how we start season 3 of the podcast.
Yeah.
Season 3, episode 17, but episode 1 of season 3. We got some surprise guests up in here. Keep sleeping on Swerve City Podcast. And with that being said,
You gotta subscribe, y'all.
We're going to
Sorry, y'all. You gotta subscribe.
cut the feed.
That's how you spell it. That's how you spell it,
I'm
right?
gonna say all kinds of crazy stuff now.
YouTube.com/Swerve City Podcast to watch the rest of the interview with Leo Rush and now John Morrison and Taya Valkyrie. Check us out on YouTube.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it rolling, though, and I hope you join us.
Subscribe.
When
Peace.
come on YouTube.
Go on YouTube right now, Swerve City Podcast, to watch the rest of this interview.
Yeah.
So, when we just left off, man, we had Leo, again, real personal, man, talking about all the struggles, man. But no, let's not forget 11/11, man. Check it out.
Yes,
on
sir.
all media platforms.
Yes, sir.
The
The music video for Lost just dropped on
Just
World Star.
World Star. Let's talk about that. Let's get into that right there, brother.
How them views hitting, boy?
The views pretty
I'm
nice.
telling you, dog, the views hitting. Dog.
Pretty nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
I feel like we should have done some homework. We should have watched these videos. Shane, I saw
Maybe,
the video that you sent me.
you should have watched those instead of rapping Peanut Butter and Johnny in the
Peanut Butter
bathroom
and
for
Johnny.
like.
Now, go into that
Listen,
real quick. Bring up Peanut Butter and Johnny.
Well, I was just like, so there's a song Peanut Butter and Johnny. I recorded it. Actually, Johnny Nitro recorded Peanut Butter and Johnny when he was teaming with K-Fed because he wanted to have a feud with John Cena. Didn't go anywhere.
Serious question. Is there only peanut butter? Is there jelly? Is there honey? Is there anything? Just
All
Johnny?
you need is peanut butter and Johnny.
Yeah.
You don't need any other condiments. Johnny is like an all-encompassing thing.
Does
this-
Peanut butter.
And
this
people
work for
are
the
hungry
vegans?
for it. Oh, there's gluten-free peanut butter and Johnny.
there we go.
All
There we
natural.
go.
Never crunchy though.
What kind of
Oh
bread?
no, natural
though?
country creamy. All the want to be with me. Yeah,
John.
I mean, natural country creamy. Kira wants to be with me. Yeah.
I like that.
Skippy G for Smuckers. I'll be capping mother truckers.
Yo.
You
Yo.
got a
Bars.
Yo.
nice.
I tell you what, it's better than everything else I done heard.
Yo, I'm like, hey, we might be on to something here.
Nice, man.
I mean,
I dabble.
whatever that video was that came out, like that was on like Twitter of John and the
You never
Miz
seen
rap,
that?
and I had never seen that before.
I've seen that years ago.
And I was like,
And the Miz?
what is
You don't remember
this?
that?
No, I never
I remember
seen
You
that.
don't remember that,
Misfits and
Mr.
Mofos?
Fuji?
Oh yeah, Mr. Fuji. That was one of my favorite things. We gotta
I've
bring
never
Mr. Fuji
seen
back.
that video.
Man,
And
Did
everyone's
that
like,
air
that
on
to
TV or was that just a
I remember that.
YouTube
I
thing?
straight up
I
was
remember
baby
seeing
powder.
that.
That was the dirt sheet wasn't even on YouTube. So the dirt sheet was on WWE.com exclusively before they started putting stuff on YouTube. And that specific rap video, Miz and I wrote in the car between towns, and then I filmed it we filmed it ourselves in that little strip behind Melrose where all the graffiti is. Yeah, we did that ourselves. Could you tell?
yeah. And then like Tommy Dreamer was telling me all like
all the
remembering when
dirt.
you guys did it and like everything like that. And I was just like, oh my.
Dude, Mr. Fuji though, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes, that man.
Oh, did I? No, you did.
Yeah, no. I love that.
No,
I
Mr.
love that.
Fuji was a locker room game that we played for the longest time. And if the gist of it is like you set it up with like, man, you know who was asking about you? And as soon as someone says who, then you're free to throw salt in their face and say Mr.
that's
Fuji. Actually, I thought it was salt, and the first time I hit Tommy Dreamer with the salt, he said it wasn't actually salt; it was powder, and it got in his eyes. And Tommy Dreamer's like, he's pretty hardcore, but like that salt was in his eyes, and they got all red.
He brought that up. He brought it up.
Really?
Like literally yesterday.
He didn't complain about it, but you know how like it makes you feel worse when he's not complaining, but you could tell his eyes were really red and watering for like 3 hours.
Yeah, I did that to Cedric one day, and I just got the baby powder, and he was like, "Hey, baby," and I was like,
Baby
"Mr.
powder.
Bougie, boo!" And he was just like, "Really? Really? This is what you do?"
Y'all don't be having these issues when I go over there.
Well,
Baby
it's 'cause
powder's
we
the way to
cut-
go, though.
We put on class. We fine when people come into the house. Now, however, other times it's like super soak or Central up in there. You better watch out.
Easy.
It's not like that. Get your mind out the gutter,
my
boy.
bad. My bad. Swerve. I swear.
Boy, somebody hand me a
oh my,
belt.
Lucha baby.
Respected a legend, Mr. Fuji. It's all about Mr. Fuji, right? I'll just bring it back to that.
Well, I think this is part of the show where we take it over to Teasy's table and we get in the music deal.
Ooh.
So,
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
My bro.
So I was retweeting things like that.
Yeah.
Promote.
So I'm gonna go down the table here.
Take a
I'm
photo.
talking names out.
Yeah.
Who are some of your musical influences? Like people.
We'll go
that
down
you
the
listen
line.
to? Yeah.
Musical influences. I said this before. I love Eminem. I feel like his cadence is crazy.
Thank you.
Here we go.
I feel like his storytelling is unlike anybody else. Eminem, definitely.
Is he your GOAT?
I think there's no better.
I think
there's no better
so.
writer.
There's sometimes where I kind of flip, or at least it's on the line where like there's like Lil Wayne is like right there.
Ooh,
but
that's your combo.
But I feel like Eminem's storytelling, like I feel like I am in his songs when he's doing a track.
Now, who's your GOAT? And not just hip hop, but music in general.
First of all, it's always a tricky question when you have to answer who's your GOAT, because if you have to list like one of your favorites, it's a lot easier than like, okay, I gotta think of my all-time favorite, the one. Kira, you go first.
That was dope.
Well,
That was dope.
I knew. I mean, I don't know, because I've liked like all kinds of music my entire life. So I listened to like a lot of hip hop, tons of pop growing up, and R&B, and like just honestly absolutely everything. So I don't know if I specifically have just one person, but I think I've just taken kind of, little pieces of everything. I love listening to Gwen Stefani, like her old stuff.
Talk about it.
Like Tragic Kingdom and everything like that.
But that don't tell me who your GOAT is, though.
But I don't know if I have one.
You
I
don't
just
have
don't
your
know.
all-time?
Concert, man.
No, but like I love, like I mean,
Who's your Gwen of all time?
I saw him in concert.
good one.
It was No Doubt, and Paramore opened up for him. It was a very interesting day.
Paramore opened up. That's
I just love, for me,
No Doubt. Yeah,
I like love watching people that put on a show live. Like that's
Paramore.
just a big thing for me. So
I give that like 3 songs, and I'm like, all right, guys, I can't
so
do the
performers, Madonna probably is up there. I'm like,
See, I'll take that as a GOAT.
a legend. I just saw her in New York live with my mom.
boom.
It was awesome in September.
See, I can never base music off of that because I've never been to a concert before.
What?
Are you what?
Never.
But you're a
You
performer.
need to
Never.
go. Oh,
Never.
there's nothing better than seeing
You know, when you're
people
just
live.
looking
I
around
love
for
that.
something to throw. That's exactly what happened. I was like,
That's the best I can do. Oh, yeah.
you gotta grab something.
Season 3, I'm not going to bang the table as much. That's better. Season 3, I'm not going to bang the table. I bang
To
it.
go, you need to go see a concert.
I do
Yes.
very soon.
All right, if you could go to any concert, who would it be?
Not counting Peanut Butter and Johnny.
Concert.
Yeah. Alive.
Wait a minute, he didn't even go over his
Present
goal.
Yeah,
company
he's still
sweep.
up
passed the
waiting
buck.
question.
He passed the buck. So now we got to go
We're
back.
gonna pass it back.
Well, first of all, it's counterclockwise, right? We're going this way.
Oh, yeah. I can't skip the clock. Yeah, come on now.
Oh, man of the hour over here. Clock.
Hey.
Sorry.
I understand.
Continue.
Who's your GOAT?
Oh my gosh.
Did you say? Did you go?
Stop.
Was it Madonna?
Okay, I will say that I really want to go see Cher in concert because she's a legend and a living legend, and I love her showmanship and costumes, and I'm super into that stuff. So I will say her, and I also have always wanted to see Lady Gaga because I haven't seen
Me
her
too.
yet. And my mom
Me
has
too.
gone, and I'm like, how has she
Dang.
gone and I have not?
I will.
So-
Yeah.
Your
For
mama
a
caught you
performer,
slipping.
yeah.
That's a dang on shit.
Okay, this
Back
might be
to
a
you.
cliche GOAT. Maybe the Beatles for me.
That's a go-to.
Go.
I know. That's why I said it's a cliche GOAT. It's a boring one, right? But it's honest. Like what? I remember
I
like
swear
make
to God,
something
if I
up.
went to a Beatles concert and the first thing I heard was Strawberry Fields, I would leave.
Like, that ain't it.
I would leave. Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
I
There's no way to. Well, they wouldn't start with Strawberry Fields. That's after they ease you in.
Oh, okay.
You
What do
know
you
what I
think
mean?
when they start with?
Easy.
Easy in.
Back in the USSR, Ticket to Ride. Yeah, something. Band on the Run. There's so many things they can start with.
Okay.
Band on the Run.
And that's the thing for me. I might have heard these songs, but I don't know the track titles to them.
Right.
So I'm like,
Yep.
that was them.
That was it.
Yep.
I thought that was
There's
the Doors.
John's family
there's like 100
loves
songs
the Beatles.
that like
So
the
I gotta
Beatles
get my
wrote that you have.
Beatle
Yeah,
education.
you might not
Yeah.
know.
And that's where, and I think that's where I get disconnected because there's so many songs
Hey Jude.
out there. Yeah, I know that one. I didn't know that was the Beatles.
I guess maybe you're right. Like maybe it wouldn't be like a concert that you go to that's like bump and like have a party. It's more of like an experience, a different experience. But we're talking about the GOAT musically, right?
Yeah, this is true.
For your go, your personal go.
Yeah, your personal.
So I gotta be
even though
lame?
Michael
You're
Jackson
like,
wrote something.
my personal GOAT is.
I accept it.
Thanks, guys.
I'll accept it, but I'm like, that's like saying who's the GOAT basketball? Michael Jordan is my GOAT. I'm like,
He is.
but
He's
come
like
on, I mean,
He is. Come on.
what's your personal GOAT? Like give me something outside.
No,
of that.
I would honestly say like who I like. So there's different kind of goats, like
Right.
especially in athletes or like music. Like I have to go back, but my goats always pick is like people that I like kind of grew up with. Like I grew up watching Kobe, so that's like my guy.
Right.
My man.
You know, but you know, I like Mike. The one thing I remember of Mike was like his last year. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't see.
That
Yeah,
changed a lot
I
of
feel
people.
that because like
Well,
my
I grew up watching
spirit is
Michael
all
Jordan, so
Karl
it's a different
Malone.
generation.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
I see
people from that
Chris
era isn't
Right.
gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to
Right.
Steph Curry." Like, they're just not gonna say that.
They're gonna say Russell.
And like back in
Exactly.
the days, like I can't watch like a Jordan '96 game. I always like fall asleep. No disrespect to him, but it's just hard.
When-
Yeah,
There's a lot of 2 points.
I grew up and I saw Magic Johnson at the YMCA one time, and my dad
That's a big dude, right?
played pickup with him, and he. He's not wrong. Yeah. But I used to live right in Westchester, kind of by the airport, and trick or treat at James Worthy's house, and it would be awesome. He'd give us like 50-cent coupons for ice cream at McDonald's always, which like now kind of seems kind of cheap because I bet he got them for free.
Hall of Famer. Why are you giving out
50 cents
He
coupons.
said 50 cent. And
Wasn't
50
the
cent
ice-
was a lot back
The
in the day.
ice cream was only $1, right?
Yeah.
50 cent was like
Back then it was
$2.
50 cents.
But even still, like there's like drug dealers that come up and buy the whole block ice cream. You give me a 50-cent coupon.
You can at least give out full size.
You know what I realized later too,
2
though,
for
is
1.
like I was stoked as a kid, but that's a pretty carny move because you know he got that for free. You know what I mean?
And you know it's melted when you get it.
Well, those are the coupon.
Oh, just a coupon.
not the actual ice cream.
Just a coupon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it would be like one of us giving out 8x10s or something.
Oh, that's
right?
true.
Or
Like
like
you know, in all those movie theaters, he give you a ticket like, here, man, here's like half off on your second batch of popcorn. Like he can't afford it.
That's how like Wizard. That's very Wizard Kelly. Y'all know Proud Family.
it didn't matter though because I was so excited to have James Worthy open the door.
That is true. We had AC Green show up to Lucha Underground that one time. I remember
that's
that.
right.
I remember, yeah, that was like one of my first 3 tapings I've done. I was like, AC Green is here? What? And this dude was like 6'9", everything. I was like, oh man. So musical influences.
Back to that.
Yeah. So we're gonna go back to Leo since he's the head guest. Or the features.
We're
So it's time.
surprised.
Yeah,
We're special
y'all,
guests.
Yeah, y'all gotta be the,
Surprise.
you gotta be the featured
Surprise.
artist. Yeah. Support the song.
So influence, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
because you said Eminem is like one of your GOAT.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Who like for the style of music you're doing for 1111? Who inspires you to make that type of move music?
man.
I would say.
I don't know. Like I listen to a lot of different artists. Like I don't know if you guys know who Clever is. Who is Clever? No, I think I was just telling you about this guy.
We really do. Let me get him here now.
Yeah, like we always get new. Everybody comes in here and
Yeah.
gives us new artists.
And then we be like, we gonna check him out.
We gonna check him out.
And then
What's
we
his
be
name
like-
again?
We be in the house getting mad and we be like,
You got a phone.
Write it in your note.
I like to write, man.
You know what?
Like,
Write
I'm-
it in your phone.
Yes, Mom. Dang.
Like,
But anyway, yeah, I'm
we
gonna
don't
write
know
it
what a
down.
pen is.
I feel like there was a lot of artists that kind of tackled different genres, or at least put different genres on top of a hip hop beat. Like guys like X, guys like Juice WRLD. Like you didn't see people that like
Rest in peace,
sung
Juice WRLD.
on top of like rap beats. So like I feel like guys like that kind of like inspired me, because that's kind of like how I grew up. I grew up listening to hip hop music, right. But my parents were singers, so I kind of always had that singing bug.
You had the harmonies and the melodies.
Yeah. So I had the harmonies and the melodies and stuff like that. So I was like, oh man, I grew up listening to hip hop, but let me try to sing on something and see if that works. And
boy, that Wonder.
Yeah.
Wonder hit me. I was like,
I loved I Wonder. Another one that I feel like a lot of people liked off of 1111 was To Be Honest.
To Be Honest is my favorite song,
which was the first track that was on 1111. So,
tell the story about you said when one of the ladies played To Be Honest for an artist. You was telling me about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
listen to this.
A good friend of mine reached out to me over Twitter, DM me on Twitter, and said, "Hey, I'm fitting 50 Cent for a suit. I'm literally at his house right now. Play 50 Cent my album," and he was like, "Oh, that To Be Honest one is that's it, right there." So that's pretty. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
That's my guy.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
That's I'm like, you'll get it together.
That's a nod.
That's pretty heavy compliment.
Yeah. Anybody from that era right there, saying that your song is something that's pretty cool.
Yeah. One thing I have to say,
Or gave you the rub.
And making music since I was 14, 15 years old, and writing music. I have to, give a big shout out to you guys. Anybody.
Thank you.
Who is?
Yes.
You're welcome, brother.
Peanut butter.
Who is dabbling, who's starting music, and being around the industry so long, I was like, yo, man. I used to tell him, yo, you can rap, bro. You can rap. He'd be like, nah. Now he's executive producing an album. So to see where, you guys are, opening inside, getting your creative vessels and starting to do the music, starting to get involved. Like she did Broke Boys. You have a project out. Me and him are working on a project.
Peanut Butter and Johnny.
There you go.
2020.
The new mixtape coming soon.
I'm putting a little album out, a little Swole World, something, something light. Something light.
Featuring your shoe on a globe.
Yeah.
Purple.
So definitely salute to you, bro, for
CZW style though, that's what I look at.
For starting that process.
Yeah, definitely.
Sponsored by Burlington Coat Factory.
You know what? Y'all better leave me alone. I shouldn't have said it. I shouldn't have said it. Y'all better leave me alone.
So you said when we was talking in private, you said you're working on some new music video projects as well. You have coming?
Yeah. I've been. Well, first and foremost, I've been working on music videos for the songs that I have on the EP for 1111. I plan on hopefully putting out visuals for each song, and then after that, I definitely want to tackle some new singles. I want to start doing some features, and just get the ball rolling. 2020, I wanna focus on music. I wanna separate wrestler and I wanna separate artists. And I want there to be that difference. I want people to take me seriously as an artist and not just say, oh, it's just another wrestler doing some music on the side and stuff like that. So
speaking of feature.
I mean, I was gonna say something, but this is your Teasy table. You can go ahead and do it yourself.
Features, man, we have an idea.
Yeah.
And it might already be confirmed or not, for the viewing audience. You have to check it out.
I might have heard from a little birdie.
You might, me too.
Chirp.
But I think it's time, brother.
Yeah.
I think it's time we lock in and make history.
Yeah.
I think it's time we do that.
Yeah.
I think we get Mr. Executive Producer over here. And we do something.
Got to. Got to.
We got to. It's time, brother.
You be the executive.
Hey, Kira wanted to know what a feature is.
A feature
Dang.
is when you're on a song
I wanted to know.
with another artist.
Feature.
When you're featured.
When you're
on another
featured.
song.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
when they're featuring.
that's what I
so-and-so.
was telling her. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
Dang, man.
Dang.
When you invited me, I should have just left him at the hotel. Maybe,
But I rented the car.
Damn it.
You had no choice.
He called shotgun. So, you were riding. Let's bring it over to Swole's world. Pop! Over here. Let's get into it. What we going
We
on?
going on my world?
More world. Your world.
My world?
I'm scared, but yes, let's do it.
Why you scared of my world? My world is safe.
It's
We talk
swole.
about cool stuff like video games and dancing and marriage and stuff like that.
Okay.
Speaking of marriage, Sarah.
Hello.
Real quick. Come on over here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, bruh, season 3, man, episode 1. What are we doing here? Look
For
at this.
those of you who don't know, this is my lovely wife, Sarah Green.
Hello.
Hello.
How long have you guys been married?
A year. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Look at the married couple over here.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's so
God.
precious.
Oh my God. That's a communion.
Hercules.
Yeah. my Whitney Grammy clap. Yeah. Yes.
I love that.
But yeah.
Do you find it hard to deal with the time when he's gone, as far as the scheduling?
I have gotten more used to it, and now that he's on NXT, then the traveling is a lot better than it was. And before, maybe like once a month I would try and go with him on his shows, and so it's a big difference seeing him performing live to watching it on the TV at home with the dogs. But yeah, I mean, of course it's hard, but you get used to it, and you know that they're doing something that they love and something that is important to them and important to the family, so supporting that is the main thing, really.
Yeah.
I like it. Oh, you guys are so cute.
I know, I'm just like, like those star eyes, like, oh, so cute.
Yo, I was like, yeah, I remember them days, man.
Look, oh. So sooner or later, it'll turn up.
6 months ago, we'd only been married for a year.
What?
How long have you guys been?
Year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
holy smokes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
I was
just-
at that wedding.
Yep.
We turned up.
We danced a lot.
I remember the announcement on Twitter.
Yeah.
I remember. I think so, right?
I think I've heard about you guys on Instagram also.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody heard about everybody.
That's how you find out about your friends.
I don't like that, man. We need to write letters
year and a
stuff.
year and a half,
And
you
make
said?
a phone call.
Yeah,
So
June 1st.
you guys married in
We
June.
invited you in person, though.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So.
That's what I thought.
What?
I got married at the end of June.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I had to go to both those weddings,
you
bro.
did. Well,
Bro, I was like,
Sorry.
it was a lit month.
I had to go to LA and then come back.
That is true, yeah, because we talked about it.
Right.
We were
We were
messaging
like-
or something, or we saw each other at shows, and we were like,
Yes.
so what's your theme?
Well, yeah,
what's
what
your
are you
color?
doing?
What kind of flowers
Is
you
your
doing?
budget busted yet? Okay, yeah,
Uh-huh,
mine is
100%.
too,
Yeah.
And it keeps just going up for some reason. I don't know.
We stopped spending things. The
And
more
John was
bills
on
keep
John
coming.
was on Survivor right before our wedding too. So I'm like, what am I gonna do?
I remember
what,
that
I
because you were
guess
just
gonna
like,
keep going.
he needs to come back. I'm doing this by
remember that.
myself.
Yep.
Yeah, I still hear about that. Thank you. Thanks for pointing that out again.
Are you welcome? Anything to help out a fellow Christian? I appreciate it.
Yeah, I remember it was like a Rise show, and we were like talking about it, and he told me
Yeah, it was a
colors. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely laughed at myself. I wrote down that 12,000 because I was like, this is what I'm only gonna spend, $12,000.
That didn't work.
Jesus.
That didn't work.
I just don't know why people make budgets anymore. You're
You're just gonna be disappointed in yourself.
I think
Yeah.
budgets are like expectations. They're broken promises no one made you. Like, it just, you're just like,
Well, maybe if you go in knowing that and you just budget yourself like $500, then
ball
when
this
it
ball
costs
out.
way more than that,
You're like, oh, I broke it.
right,
Yeah.
I broke
Oh, well.
it, but it's worth it. Have fun.
that's how I look at gambling.
Oh, I don't play with the gambles.
No, yeah.
I don't do the gambles.
If you
Gamble a
think
lot.
you're gonna win at blackjack, it's never fun.
See, I don't like losing, period.
Well,
So
see, you can't look
losing
at it like
money?
that. You look at it like I'm just gonna sit down and like spend this money to like play blackjack with my friends while they serve us drinks. Then it's okay.
Then you lose it, and I win it back.
Yeah, that happens.
See, I don't have that partner that can win it back, so it's gone. It's gone.
But
Yeah,
even
I
if
just
it's like
lose it.
straight gone. If it's straight gone and you don't think you're gonna win, it's okay.
Heck no, I be studying that deck like somebody's like,
I'm like, that's a pair of shoes. That's a purse. Like, that's
I'm
a nice
like,
dinner.
That's what I end up doing. I end
That's
up
a set
looking
of
at
gear.
all the other
right,
things.
like where the cards lay like.
Well, I look at it this way: like if you can play blackjack in Vegas for like a half hour, usually that equals like 3 or 4 drinks if you drink them fast. And if you equal out the money, because drinks in Vegas are expensive.
The psychology.
Yeah,
of
they're
it.
like
he's
they're like
he's selling himself.
$25-$30.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense. It's a racket, like skincare.
But they serve you drinks for free while you're playing.
see, this will mess me up because like me for the past 3 years I've been saying the past 3 Christmases I was like I'm gonna get that game box, the Vanguard, where you can play your game wherever you go, whatever.
Right.
I've been saying that for the last 3 Christmases, and one time in Vegas, Sammy Callahan took me to the roulette table. I won money, and then I lost the money. I was like, there goes that game box.
That's the
And then the
worst.
year before that, before I had kids got taken care of first, there goes my game box. And that was the last 2 years. Finally this year, I was like, I'm gonna get me that game box. And I didn't gamble. All the kids were taken. I did that a month ahead of time. All the kids were taken care of. I didn't gamble. I had all my bills were straight. I'm like, come on, game box.
Responsible.
I didn't even
You're
leave
so
the house.
responsible.
I woke up. I said, "Ooh, it's payday."
Game box.
Game box. Black Friday dropped, and it was $100 off.
Perfect.
Look at you.
Responsible.
30-year-old Swerve man gets it done.
Yeah.
Lucha baby, all grown up.
Yeah, see, Lucha baby, the
Lucha baby I knew
you knew
would not
was
have
broke.
done that. Yeah.
Was getting paid and broke at the same time. I don't know how that works.
Yep. Trust me.
That's
Same boat.
That's
I
how
was
it's
in the
supposed to
same boat.
Lord,
At the
have
same
mercy.
time, just like, where the money went? Oh,
Yeah. Oh, don't have
well,
me.
don't have any.
So who's gamers? You
Right.
you kind of
I never really got into Nah.
I'm a button smasher.
Yeah.
Button smasher, you be hitting them in Mortal Kombat
So.
Yeah.
So.
yeah.
I feel like I just got back into playing games, but the only games that I do play, kind of like Injustice, Call of Duty, like the typical like hypebeast kind of like games.
How you like that new Modern Warfare?
Incredible.
Right.
It's incredible.
Right. They pulled me right back in because last year Treyarch just trash. I'm a Black Ops person. I love Call of Duty. They got good campaign.
I fell off of Black Ops so hard.
Listen,
I don't like the respawn, get shot, respawn again. That kills me. I'm like, I'm out.
This Black
I
Ops
fell
4 was
off.
trash. I was like,
I fell off in the past because I got too mad dying all the time. And that kind
See, I
of,
didn't do a lot of dying.
I just was like, you know what, forget it. But I feel like Call of Duty, I never get mad at anything as much as I get mad at getting shot by a 8-year-old kid on Call of Duty.
Talk about it.
you gotta play Ghost Recon.
Yeah, we on the Ghost
It's too
Recon.
fancy. I'm a simple guy.
It is fancy.
It is a little fancy, but until you play with our homie Ian, who like I be like trying to like go how the mission's supposed to go, and I'm like okay, I recon. This person's there. Take the tower, the west wing. You gotta hey roll around back.
What's Ian
like
doing?
we got Ian. Pop. Oh, they all dead. I don't know why y'all still sitting outside
Ian
the gate.
is literally like Leroy Jenkins. Jenkins. Running in. Ta-da-da-da-da-da.
Two trained military snipers over here, and you have John Wick all on the same team, and you like try to.
Right.
And it doesn't.
Like, oh yeah, that's
Right.
Like, I already got the chip, man. We can leave now.
Right.
Like,
By the time you scout the whole thing, now you realize there's no more red left because he done went through the whole thing. You're like, well, there it is.
I got this upgrade specifically for this. I've yet to use it yet. Playing with Ian because he just takes all the fun.
Plus, you know what I don't get? You play Call of Duty once, you get off of it for a couple of hours, and you get back on, and that same person that was on rank 30 is now on like 140 something.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
that happens.
how?
Facts.
That's a fact.
I'm like, how, bro? Like,
Ain't gonna lie.
how many times are you playing? How many hours are you playing a day? Like,
Dude.
I don't get it.
Try that with NBA 2K.
Nah,
NBA is bad, dude.
No.
I couldn't do it.
no thanks.
That the way you are about that, that's the way I am about that game. Like, it's
Yeah,
bad.
And we were like, we played every day. We had our buddy Ian. The way he is on Ghost Recon shooting everybody is the same way he is on
He
basketball.
hit the
Just-
ball, he's shooting.
He gone. He
He
gone.
be half court.
Yeah, like
He
say
be half
say
court.
goodbye. He
He
gone.
ain't passing it, bro.
And he's not a shooter.
And he's a big man. He's dribbling
Like,
as the big
hey,
man.
hey, Ian. Hey, Ian.
No.
Okay. But yeah, like this year is like you turn the game off, you turn it back on, the update happened, the game's completely different. Your abilities don't work the same anymore, and it's just so random. And by the way, this is Brixton.
Oh yeah.
Leo's dog,
Making out with me over here.
Yeah.
Brixton.
He's like, I found somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody
How
for
old
me.
is Brixton?
Right up.
My mama told me when I
3
found
months.
somebody.
He's so cute.
Yeah,
Oh my
3 months.
gosh, he probably smells
Don't
Presley.
Brixton's
Brixton.
adorable.
He opened in my closet. He going in my closet. I don't
See,
like
he's
that.
got that a D-Dog tracksuit on.
Presley has a
Yeah.
black.
Yeah.
Our dog has a
Pretty
little black
sick.
one too.
Fly like a can of bees.
Where's-
What kind of dog is Brixton?
He is a Mexican hairless. So he's called a Xolo Etzquintzly.
Yeah.
Or just call him a Xolo.
cute.
I'm gonna call
She's
him.
like,
Xolo.
hello, friend.
Call him Brixton.
Pick me up and cuddle with me.
So wait, something I wanted to go actually into, if you don't mind.
Speak on it.
I'm ready. The glass is off. The migraine is gone.
Talk about it.
Taya, now I seen this outfit you had on.
Oh yes.
It's Cruella de Vil, and I like to say
Oh, that too.
Thank you.
What, man?
Thank you.
I had Cruella down for like my list of things to do for gear, and after I saw it, I was like, I ain't doing that. I was like, she done already bossed it out. And I'm like, well, it's hers now.
Thank you. No, I'd never done that.
You
something
never, like
that
yeah,
before.
what made you, like, actually do a character?
Well, yeah, obviously, like,
Yeah.
I've never done anything like that before. I'm not really into, like, cosplaying, but I'm super into, like, costuming and fashion and all that kind of stuff. And I just got compared to her a lot just because I was always doing, like, vignettes and backstage segments with my dog and uploading videos and little things that I do on my own from my house with like fur coats on and my stupid little fluffy perfect little dog. And people were like, she looks like Cruella de Vil all the time. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And then I, presented the idea, and I literally sent a picture of the cartoon to my seamstress who makes my jackets in Mexico, and she's like, really, this is what we're doing? I'm like, yep, this is what we're doing. And then Jolene made the one piece, and she was,
Shout out Jolene.
yeah, she did an amazing job. And I was just like, oh my God, this is like even more evil and perfect. We did some promo pictures in it, and like it's a lot, but it's
official.
good. It's so good.
It's official.
Yeah.
I can't imagine being a
close
girl wrestler
Yeah.
and like seeing other girls' gear that's so much better than yours. Like, cause even when I see guys that have like gear that's just kind of like out of this world, like Osprey's last jacket,
He is
God.
sick.
absolutely
sick
insane.
Where
I
does
just
he get,
wanted to
like-
quit. Like I was just like, I'm not.
And then he
there's
brought
no
a
point.
samurai sword with it.
Yeah.
And there was like, wasn't there like a lion's
A
head or
conch?
There was
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
lion's
it looked
head
like some
on the
coming
shoulder.
to
I was just
America
like,
types.
That's why I just
It's a
do
lot.
denim.
it's like, why do I even try?
I just do denim.
Well, what is he like? He's got like a mysterious like gear master in Japan, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, most
Yeah.
likely. You can only get
Because I
there.
feel like a lot of those jackets have a similar style, and I feel like that
Yeah.
Japanese vibe of
Yeah,
of
you got
gear
that,
is kind of
It, like I felt the
very
same way
specific.
Very
with I felt the same way with Aleister Black's vest with the golden snake around it. I was like, I'm done. I'm done because I'm a vest person.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Ooh, it was one of the last
I'm
pay
gonna
per
look
views.
that
up.
It was like it might have been when he wrestled Cesaro.
Did he?
Yeah.
What did he wear when he wrestled Buddy Murphy? Was it that one?
I think he had one of the. He like I was just at his house. He has like 20 jackets at this time, and I always saw him the golden snake one wrapped around was like the coldest one I've seen, and that was the last one. I think that was like SummerSlam. It might have been after SummerSlam. I forget.
It makes you want to step your game up hard.
I tried, but I'm like.
I don't know. I can see that stuff.
I
And I
don't
feel
like.
like my character can kind of go completely off the rails and do something totally crazy, and everyone's like, it's Taya. It's like, that's just what I do, especially because I have to
That's how
step
wrestlers
up
can
next
get
to
paid
this.
and be broke at the same time.
I know, but like, but this guy, I mean, he made me step my gear game up 120% because I got to look at his stuff in the closet every day, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm a gear snob.
yeah.
Yeah, see, that's all fun and games. So that
That's-
check.
yeah.
And now it's like a
That's how
competition.
I-
We're like, you like
bill
that?
come out.
That's how my husband is. He's geared, man. Just gear everywhere.
It's
Dude,
all
we
over
have-
our house.
We have people
Closet's
coming
full.
in and shopping in the closet. Tell him, Shane. I mean, Isaiah. Sorry, I don't know who that was. That must have been Aaron Monroe. That wasn't me.
All my friends from Canada come to visit, and they want to put on all my outfits, and all their husbands want to wear John's jackets, like after like a few glasses of wine, and it's just like a fashion
It's a
show.
fashion show,
Everyone's
see?
walking
It
around.
turns into a party with like 10 people.
It's just, and they're
wearing
all dressed like
coats.
us. It's
They all
very.
got the coats
I told
on.
you, you gotta hide that rose. You gotta put it in the back.
I've definitely
hide the
bought a
coats.
few kick pads off of Cedric before.
See,
Bought him.
bought him. He just
Oh,
gave him.
he just gave them to me.
Yeah.
He just,
Like, oh.
yeah, I didn't.
I was like,
there was
didn't
no
you
money
just buy
involved.
them assignments yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For $400, you just go give it away. Oh, they don't fit like that. Oh, okay.
The
You know
one,
your size when you order them.
the
my
one,
dude. Like
the one excuse he used for me, I was like, it was like a pair of kick pads or something like that. It was like the white and black ones.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't you want these anymore? He was like,
Oh, my calves got
That's
bigger.
him.
that was it. That was the
That's
answer.
all you get.
Let me ask you guys a question that I get asked sometimes. Do you think it takes longer to learn how to wrestle or to get good gear made?
Get gear made. Go get gear
I
made.
swear, like getting good gear is harder than learning how to
Gear.
wrestle.
There
I
is.
don't know.
sure.
My guy does a really
See,
good
like,
job. I'm
like-
lucky.
Man,
But finding that guy, like
You have to
Finding
find the guy because there's not
Find the
enough
guy.
of them.
Yeah, because I tried to go through a lady and it wasn't working. But now I go through my guy and then
Who's the guy? What's his
feature,
number?
I go through Sandra.
Don't
And
say
I ain't
that.
gonna say it
we'll
out
keep
loud.
we'll
Yeah.
disclose.
But now I have
You gotta
Miss Sandra
keep
on
that
my
in the
team.
DL.
So I'm like,
Yeah,
Miss
she
Maybe
makes
why-
beautiful stuff.
Sandra,
Nope.
get my mistake.
Yeah, they'll be watching on the podcast. They'll be like, yeah, who was it?
Who was it? Who was it?
Then that
People
guy's
ask
gone
me
now.
all the time about my lady in Mexico, and I'm just like, it's a need to know basis, and you do
Right.
not need to know,
You don't.
because they'll get busy with your stuff,
Like,
your stuff, and your
right.
stuff.
It's the A and B conversation. See your way out. January, February, march your way out. Taco burrito, nachos. You know what I mean? All that.
This is a good,
About, right?
yeah. I'm like, this is a good time to close
hungry,
this
though.
episode. This is a very
I'm
special
hungry.
one, episode 3 of the Swerve City Podcast, man. Like, tell us any projects you got coming up, man. You got, bruh.
So much
Smackdown.
stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Smackdown.
Johnny
Friday,
Smackdown.
First match back. Johnny Smackdown versus Big E. It's the first match in 8 years
I
with WWE. Looking forward to it.
Well,
Yeah. John Smackdown.
Johnny smacked
He's
it
been Johnny
down.
everything else. So.
You want to tell them about the Iron Sheik massacre? Have you guys heard about this thing?
Now I need to know.
Tell them, man.
We wrote a horror comedy on our honeymoon. I have told you about
You told me
this.
this,
Yeah.
yes.
We filmed it actually last September, like over a year ago, and then it's now in post production with special effects. And it's the first thing we've written and produced together as a married couple, as you know, something different outside of wrestling. And so I'm excited for everyone to see
We were
it.
just talking about doing things outside of wrestling
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
So exploring, man.
I don't even know what to say, but the gist of it is it's kind of like Child's Play, but the action figure is an Iron Sheik doll, and he does the voice. And
Oh, God, yes.
it's gonna be
Sheiky
ridiculous.
Oh, God, yes.
Iron Sheik does the voice.
Yes.
He does,
Iron
he does his
Sheik.
own
Oh,
voice
gosh.
because it's an Iron Sheik action figure.
Please tell me he says Shiki White medicine. One time.
He says a lot of things.
Sheiky,
He says a lot of
green
things.
medicine.
Things that will
green
be
medicine.
said.
Yeah, the white medicine. I don't know if we went
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
but-
Shiki green
But
medicine.
it was so much fun to do, and I know that the stuff I've seen of it already, like before the special effects are done, is it's so stupid. But if you love like campy, funny kind of like horror comedy stuff, you're gonna love it. And obviously, it's like a side of wrestling. It's
It's a
really
horror
fun.
movie. Like
There's a lot of blood
this
and
is an
guts in
R-rated
it.
horror
Yeah.
movie. Like,
Lots
oh,
of
it's
swearing.
R. Oh, that's
There's
a
y'all
lots
going
of
hard.
swearing.
Yeah, this is a
Excited.
hard R. You can't do an Iron
Oh.
Sheik thing without.
I love horror.
going
Yeah,
right.
I mean
Yeah.
most of
That's
the
great.
most of the
That's great.
like his verbiage and like how we wrote Iron Sheik was a lot of it was from like his most famous rants and tweets and things.
Yeah, his famous promos and rants.
I
and
looked
stuff
up
on Twitter.
all his most famous stuff and I was like, what about this line? What about this line? Like I would just take from that and
That's
like
great.
write it in for him.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Mr. Rush, man.
Yes, sir.
What are some other projects you got coming up, man?
Like I said before, I touched based on all of the tracks that I did on the 1111 EP. I am gonna release visuals for each song.
You just released Lost.
Just released Lost. That's on World Star right now. Next week, I'm probably gonna be dropping another one. Probably the following week, so on and so forth, and
At
then
some
after
point we'll
that,
wrestle in between that.
after that, I'm gonna I'm probably gonna start putting out another single. Like I said, doing some features.
Where,
But in
where
the,
can I see 1111? Where can I get that?
on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon
Project.
Music, yeah, all streaming platforms. 1111 is on there. So
Yes. Phew. Sis, got anything
Coming
to
up.
promote? Sister Swole.
This is remote. Let's see. I will be down in Miami this Wednesday for TV taping. So if you're down there, holla at your girl.
Yeah.
Actually, it's really good. I got a really cool opponent, so I'm really excited to
Don't
wrestle
tell me.
her.
I
I'm
wanna
not gonna tell you.
I wanna
It's
be
dope.
surprised.
It's gonna be awesome. Also, still doing indies, so I have to wrestle for the Shine Tag Team belts. I have to defend this weekend with Aja Pereira
I can
against
be there.
Team Better Than You, and it's actually here in Orlando
I'll be going.
for the pre-show before the Evolve show. So, because I can't be on Evolve, but I'm gonna be on Evolve.
I can, but I
I
can't.
can, but I
Find
can't.
the way.
I'm gonna be on the pre-show.
Make
I'm on the
money, believe
kickoff. I'm on the kickoff, so I won't be on the network. But yay.
What we got over here? Flex that shirt real quick over there.
Oh yeah, first of all,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, typical. First thing, make sure you guys go to youtube.com/Swerve City Podcast and subscribe to everything we have going
If
on.
you know what I'm saying?
Man, you don't want to break it
No,
down. Anyway.
I said it real low. I ain't want to know. I was like,
You're like, stop at that thing. Wait, like I don't want to do that. But
Struggle
follow me
shades.
at Teasy Scott, Instagram, Twitter, things of that nature. Look out for that body art video coming soon with me, my bro, Sis. We have a lot going on. Directed, edited by the whole team. Shout out my man Syiren. Shout out my man Mike. Great work, man. My bro over here with the great visual ideas. Shout out to Zombie Juice for, his expertise and coming on the record, coming down here.
Flew all the way
Shout
over
out,
here to do this.
Shout out to Kaden as well as Jesse for being in as well. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for giving us your time.
That's it, man. Strictly album mode from here, man. That's it. What about you, Swerve?
Shoot, man. Tune in every week. Wednesday nights, NXT, 8 o'clock. And then 205 Live, bro. Because me and this dude just went at it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it might be the last or the first or what's going on from there, but man.
It's never
live.
It's wrestling.
Right.
Yep, but yes, sir. We.
Get done first.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna get you. I get you. My show. I got this. Anyway, yeah, bro. It's like 205 Live, man. Check it out. Like me and Leo locking horns and then tagging together in the same segments, man.
When is 205 on?
The WWE Network.
And is it live like a?
Yep.
the deal?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right after SmackDown.
Friday
205 Live.
night, 10 p.m. Eastern time.
That like jump out of the ring, backflip timed at the same time.
Yeah.
that you guys pulled
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Literally. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. That's just the start.
Yeah.
We're just cooking.
Yeah,
That's
We just
my lucha
cooking.
baby.
just a little taste.
They're just cooking.
Yeah.
So that is
We
yeah.
on simmer.
So just keep watching. Stay tuned, man. Like 205 Live, man, we're doing some special things on there. So stay tuned. NXT as well. You don't know. 205, the Cruiserweight titles jumping back and forth. So check it out, man.
Back and forth.
So Patreon announcements over here from Cy. What we got over here? Oh, ja! Get on camera. No.
Hey, Patreon people, thank you for being patient, being cool with us. Sorry, the holidays messed up a lot of our plans. Holidays messed up a lot of our plans for the gift giveaways. We're actually, by the time you're actually watching this, we would have those sent out to you. And thank you for being patient with us. And we are going to be better moving forward.
Yes, you will.
Yes, you will.
2020 resolution.
Yeah, so pledge on the Patreon as well. Swerve City Podcast on Patreon. And subscribe to the YouTube, youtube.com/Swerve City Podcast to see these episodes. This will be dropping on Monday. But if you pledge on the Patreon, you're going to get it on Saturday, 3 days earlier before everybody else. So FOMO is real. Check it out before we even get it, man. And that's where you can check out our music videos, our features. What else is coming next? We got Teasy's Table, we got Swole's World, and we're going to say bye now, so be confident in everything you do.
Wash your ass.
Or you gonna get a pop.
Peanut butter and Johnny. I thought we were all saying something.
Yeah, I was going to say Rush Lee or Rush.